Now we start with Middle East. Israel's Defence Minister Israel Katz has warned that Hamas leaders will be targeted without immunity following a new wave of Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. Katz has said that both political leaders abroad and military figures hiding in tunnels would be held responsible for attacks on Israeli forces, declaring that whoever raises a hand against an Israeli soldier, his hand will be severed. He has confirmed the Israeli military has been instructed to act decisively against Hamas's targets. The remarks have come despite ongoing mediation efforts by Qatar, a key broker in the fragile ceasefire deal alongside Egypt, the United States and Turkey. Meanwhile, Katz has ordered a ban on International Committee of Red Cross visits to Palestinian detainees held under Israel's illegal combatants law. He further argued that allowing access would seriously harm state security, saying the safety of Israeli citizens must come first. Separately, Israel's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Oren Marmoshtein has delivered an emotional briefing describing a video that Israeli officials say shows Hamas terrorists throwing the remains of an Israeli hostage from a window and later staging a fake recovery with the Red Cross. He has called the footage barbaric and accused Hamas of manipulating the families of hostages and lying about the location of remains. The Red Cross has condemned the alleged staging, calling it unacceptable in the midst of ongoing efforts to uphold the truce. Marmorstein has said that Hamas has repeatedly and deliberately violated the U.S.-brokered ceasefire, arguing that Hamas is acting to sabotage President Trump's peace plan, which calls for the group's disarmament. Now for this discussion, we welcome Matti Zweig. He's a geopolitical expert, joins us live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Thank you very much, Matti, for joining us. Good to see you. Matti,
thank you, Tuma.
Thank you. Matti, what is going on here? What are we supposed to believe over here? Please tell us.
Well, I can only tell you what is our point of view, because we are seeing again and again and again and again the Hamas crossing all the red lines, breaking all the things that they agreed to be part in the ceasefire. Israel redeployed. Israel gave back all the Hamas and other prisoners, exactly all the number that they say, but they didn't give back all our hostages. And when we say all of them, we mean live and dead as well. Because for us, it's the same. Live, life, and also dead. And they are not giving them back. We know that most of them, at least 80% of all the hostages that they stay with them, they know exactly where they are, and they are not giving them back. We even, IDF show how are they monting a kind of plays and games and filming like they are doing some effort to localize them, but it's not really true. And they are also trying to attack their soldiers. So even Trump said when Israel is attacked and soldiers are dead, they have the right to defend themselves. So if the world shouts why they only killed 2 soldiers and you killed 80 or 90 or 100 terrorists, so this is not the question. The question is why is not Hamas doing what they should do to implement also from their side and fulfill all the points of the agreement. And this is, of course, something that can be stopped when the Hamas will change their behavior. I mean, you know, only in the last days, they shoot on the knees of opponents, 500 people. You didn't listen even one person in the world talking against this. This is barbarian. They are behaving in a barbarian way, and world cannot praise Israel for reacting to this barbarian behavior. So they must change the way. They have to tell their masters in Iran, or maybe the people that give them money like Qatar, please tell us what to do, because we are losing the grip of the power, and that's exactly what is going on. So more dead, less dead, this is a war, and they must fulfill their part.
And Maddie, can you please source the news that you have shared? You've also shared that these news is not covered. The Hamas's atrocities are not covered in media. Is it covered in Israel?
Of course, it's covered in Israel, and it's also covered in some media, but very few. I mean, when you see the big media, even in the States, even in Europe, you're all the time, oh, Israel is again attacking or is not fulfilling the agreement. Israel is fulfilling completely the agreement. You know, people inside Israel, they have different political opinions about the government doing this or doing that. But from this point of view, Israel is fulfilling everything. And what happened also with the ICRC that you were talking before, they were blamed by Israel that they were not doing also their task. Because the Red Cross is a very important thing in the world. And it was always a very important thing to provide their aid and everything also from the Gaza Strip. But what about 2 years of keeping silence about 250 hostages, not demanding not even one time to go inside, to bring them medicaments, to give them some kind of help? They never are from the part of Israel, so something must be wrong with them and with their behavior too. So if ICRC is going to change also their path, I am sure that Israel is going to cooperate too.
Thank you, Maddie, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we stay on this topic now. Gaza's Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency has stated that hospitals have issued a statement on the overnight Israeli strikes in Gaza. The agency has reported that over 100 people were killed across the Palestinian territory in the Israeli strikes. Spokesman for the agency, Mahmoud Bassal, has stated that at least 101 fatalities were brought to hospitals, including 35 children. The Israeli government has stated that it had hit dozens of facilities in response to the ceasefire violations by Hamas. This is significant as it is the biggest strike since the ceasefire agreement came into effect, which was brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump. However, Israel has also stated that the ceasefire is back in effect after the strikes. Now for this discussion, we go back to Maddie Zweig. He's a geopolitical expert, joins us live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Thank you, Maddie, for staying with us. Maddie, although, of course, you've mentioned all the reasons why this has happened or why this was necessary from Israel's perspective, is there any way that civilian casualties could be lessened or, they could be protected somehow?
It's very complicated because when Israel redeployed, they knew that they left untouched many things that they are in power again of Hamas, like dozens of kilometers of tunnels, weapons, and they didn't go inside, even despite that this is very bad for the future of the security future of Israel if things are going to down again. But and then they are all the time breaking the ceasefire, and then Israel is again going inside and making explode a couple of tunnels that they found. And this is also provoking all kinds of injuries and death from terrorists that they were inside. So there is no truth exactly about what is the quantity of terrorists and the quantity of, unfortunately, civilians that there were around, and the terrorists were using them as human shields. So this can be implemented also with this international coalition, and Trump are going to really take things in their hands, because Israel cannot redeploy and just wait that their soldiers are going to be attacked and killed. And the same with all the terrible things that Hamas is doing to their own population. If it's going to be a coalition with thieves, a coalition that is going to attack and stop Hamas, things are going to be better. In this way, the world is leaving Israel to do all the dirty work, and we are going back and back to the same point. So we must see also a strong response from people that should be responsible responsible for this, like Turkey, like Qatar, like Indonesia, like all those countries that want to be inside. But if they want to be inside, are they going to stop Hamas? Or are they going to be from their side? This is a big question. Someone must respond to this.
Yes, and what other challenges do the ceasefire agreement is facing to move on to second phase 2?
The biggest one is to give humanitarian aid. Israel wants to continue because it's in their own interest that they fulfill the agreement and the humanitarian aid is going inside. Hamas is again trying to obstacle all these efforts and also trying to get all the trucks and the humanitarian aid for themselves. So everything stopped now. Who is suffering? The population of Gaza who is alive, and the society in Israel that the bodies of their hostages are not coming back. I mean, we are going back again and again in all the interviews to one simple thing. Hamas must be stopped. Hamas must be disarmed. And they are no alternative for any military question to these answers. You know, so they can be maybe part of a future government, Palestinian government, if they put some of their people in technical places. But from the military point of view, everyone in the world, not only Israel or Trump, but Europe, but the moderate Arab countries, anyone understand that Hamas must be stopped.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Maddie, for joining us and sharing that insight all the way from Israel. Now we move on to Asia. In Gyeongju, South Korea, President Lee